Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza. We are coming to you live right now at 7:19 Best Coast time. We're in the process of watching UFC Vegas 22. I hope that you're enjoying yourself. I'm so glad that you're here. Also, was I alone in hearing Shania Twain being played with You're Still the One as a walkout song, or at least the intermission song? Because if so, weird, right? I don't have any issues with Shania Twain, aka Shania Twain, but it does seem a little odd. Like, that's a fucking wedding song. What is it doing here? I digress. What's up, Noir? Or No Deer, or our good friend Kevin Ross. It is a pleasure to see y'all. We are here for 5 more fights this evening. I'm so pleased that you're joining us. Please grab a beer. Please grab some food. Enjoy yourself this evening. My food isn't coming till later, so if I can't eat, I want you to eat. So we're going to be watching along with the UFC this evening. If you have questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations, hit me up in the chats. Talk to me. Also, I will say this. If you give us a like and a share over on Facebook, we give you a toast on air, just like we do those fighters who get finishes within regulation. Also, if you give us a subscription over on our Grappling Hour YouTube page, we give you a toast. And if you give us a share on your Instagram stories that you're watching this, then we will also give you a cheers. And look at this. Big Ben saying, thank you for all you do for the culture. Appreciate that. So much love to be given all around. And it says right here, and I'm not probably going to do it, but I'll read it. It says, you got to do a shoey if Tuivasa wins in spectacular fashion. I'm not even wearing shoes. Also, who the fuck decided to start doing shoeys as a thing? Ooh. The big boys are not holding back here tonight. This is dangerous. Ooh, and he is limping on that leg. Meanwhile, you got one Hudsucker proxy in this evening, filling in, and oof, ooh, Tuivasa is gonna get a finisher right now. Nope, just kidding. This is, yep, oh, let's double check. That looks like a Herb Dean who's letting him take some more damage, but hey, let him try to fight his way back into it. What is up, R. Rufio? You can't fucking peer pressure me into doing shoeys. Y'all aren't paying for this shit. If you were paying for it, it'd be a different story, but you ain't done shit for me. Let me see here. Eye surgery. It's all via phone. Sorry, y'all. Locking up our next one. And I did not think I'd hear a Hudsucker reference. I mean, that name is close enough, right? And the first time I heard it, I thought I was going to do the joke of honeysucker, but I realized that's too close to his name. Dude, he swatted that man away. Like, that is a Superman sort of deal that we are seeing right now. So, what is your tomorrow night? Yes, fans, friends, we are getting potentially a UFC fighter to show up tomorrow for the next installment of Over Under Kevin for UFC 260. So you'll have to tune in to find out. This is how you know I multitask, kids. I literally book people on this thing, talk to y'all here, crushing it. Jokes all around. What's up, Laker fan 90717? Glad for your team. Things look okay right now. AKA my team, AKA Los Angeles, AKA West Side of the Best Side. Anyway, that's what we got. Motherfucker. Kevin shows up just to try and make me do a shoey. That's all I know. That's all I know. This motherfucker shows up on our show just to be like, I don't know, man. It'd be kind of cool. You know, if you did a shoey. Like, what is the appeal of doing a shoey? I don't understand. This is where all of the like people who live in the Australia or the New Zealand, same thing to me, when they inspire these things and they say, you know what you need to do? You need to drink water from your shoe. And you think to yourself, no. That is where I draw the line. That's how shit got gross. That's all I'm saying to y'all. Anyway, what are you guys doing tonight? Who do you have, I guess, in the next fight? Because we might as well already start looking at the next one. That was there. Me neither, but it's ridiculous, and I love it. I love when we get instigators, though, who are like, I think Karen Bryant was encouraging people on the broadcast desk to do a shoey, and I was like, you need to stop that, Karen. Like, I think Karen out there was at one point trying to get Alan Joe Bond to try and beat the shit out of me, and I was like, you do not need to get that man to beat me up. It is far too easy. Yo, Hudsucker Proxy, I feel bad for you, kid, but you did take this fight on just a little bit of notice, and I have a lot of respect for you. And you came out swinging, so you really have nothing to really hang your hat on in terms of feeling like you didn't do. But yeah, dude, he's powerful, man. I don't know what to tell you. Tuivasa, he's a real deal, dude. In a 49-second knockout, we may be done early tonight. So, as a reminder, like and share on Facebook. We give it a toast on air. As you guys know, we do our best to go ahead and promote the culture, as Big Ben says over here. We do our best to keep y'all entertained, informed, all that sort of jazz. As we want to remind you guys, tomorrow we will also be doing a fight companion for the combat jiu-jitsu event that's happening. I'm very excited for that. We're assembling a panel as we speak on that one as well. So, very excited to bring some friends to chat about that event because slaps, jiu-jitsu, some people really think that's it. But the week I'm fine. Okay. Woo! Just the way he was attacking the legs there, and like homeboy was not prepared for any attacks on those legs. And look at Herb right on it, right on the action. Gives him a few seconds, some unprotected strikes here, curled up on the ball, and that's it. And it says, Tui is this generation's Tank Abbott. Somebody needs to be. That's a great note. So, oh no. Tai Tuivasa had an unfortunate moment for his cousin. He was murdered or killed, I guess, and unfortunately he did not. I don't want to say murdered. We don't know that for sure. But he was killed, and he unfortunately did not get the chance to see him. So, terrible thing for the man, but way to go ahead and deliver for that cousin, though. Eek. I think he was asking him to walk him through the end of the fight, and Ty didn't take the hint and just goes, "You want me to say words? Like, what do you want from me, dude?" So he's basically saying he feels like he has improved on his stand-up. What's up, Racinos 4807? And yeah, he's given due props to him. And he says over on this way, just to kind of give that, he goes, "I know you're looking for a shoe and a beer right now. Yep, that's how you know Tai Tuivasa just won a fight." And he said he's back on the board, so he's really looking to fight just about anybody, really. And he says he wants to get back to entertaining the fans. Sweet. All right. Well, that's happening there. What's up, Drain Daddy? Good to see y'all. I don't know the last thing that he just yelled out, but that means we have to give him a cheers. All right, so this toast is going on out 2-1 Tai Tuivasa. So here's the thing, dude. I know that you want to do a shoey with the fans, and the fact that you can't do one, it makes us all sad. But you know what I can do for you? I can drink this beer. Now, I'm not going to chug it because it's my beer. If somebody else bought me a beer, I'd probably chug it. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is I don't really understand the shoey thing, but you do you. You earned one. I'm sorry there's not a crowd there that will hand you one and do it anyways, but I'm going to drink this beer for you because cheers, that was immaculate. Bam. Oh. I mean, I could have chugged that beer, but I'm also going to be on television for internet television for a little bit. So just saying, we still got to stay on air for about another 4 more fights. And if they go as quick as that, we might have a very tight in and out night here tonight. But Drain Daddy is saying, "Sup, gang." Drain Daddy, what other things do you have to tell us in the world of wrestling right now? Because it does appear like, aside from the Stanford kid, I saw that kid who didn't have anything on his singlet. And it just made me think, like, no sponsors on your fight gear kind of makes me feel like we're looking at jiu-jitsu athletes. So when I saw the whole wrestling world get sad about that, I was like, do you know how many athletes I see in jiu-jitsu who don't have their fucking shit on there? That's how you know the things are. But who should we be looking at in the wrestling world? Like, who has impressed you over the Matt Madness side of the world? Because I don't get to watch that as much, but I would be interested to see who I should be keeping an eye on. Meanwhile, the rest of you, oh God, I think Kevin Phillips just sent me a note that says, Kevin Phillips sent me a text that just says, Paul Felder is what it looks like when they let a human Diet Coke interview a fighter. It's not inaccurate. Yeah, I don't remember hating Paul Felder, so I don't really have an issue with him. I actually think he's a better interviewer than Michael Bisping, so I think that's the right choice, at least for the evening. It is just strange to see, so an LOL over on that side. All right, we got a few seconds before we go to our next fight. Hit me with your questions, fam. As you noted, Big Ben, you were not expecting a Hudsucker proxy reference, but you got one. And it says here, Roman Bravo Young just won a national championship today. Dominic Cruz has been spending some time with him, and it's not out of the question that he would potentially make his way into MMA or even jiu-jitsu at some point. Well, we welcome wrestlers in jiu-jitsu. I'm perfectly fine with that, so I have no beef. We can all stand to get a little bit better at our wrestling, so that would be pretty dope. But if he's hanging out with Dom Cruz, I don't see he would go to the jiu-jitsu side. John would probably talk him into doing some MMA. But who knows? It's a strange world. People can make money off of jiu-jitsu now. Doesn't happen for everybody, but there are some people who do make money off of it. But that is good to note. I will definitely keep an eye on him. Roman Bravo Young. Noted. It is quite interesting to see because I get all these updates all the way throughout the evening from a lot of my friends who've been watching along. What is up, Will I Isness? Appreciate you. Having fun. He's a fun to watch and a good looking kid. Well, that really wasn't on my radar, but thank you for revealing that. I appreciate you for telling us. And I'm glad that you make those decisions for yourself. What is up, Koala Buds? I'm going to guess that you enjoy the weed. And yep, an organ. I do. All right, talk to me. Give me your shares. Give me your comments, your concerns, your hints, allegations, hopes, dreams, aspirations, all that good stuff. I am more than happy to do it. We just got a share from our good friend Adam Wood, so we'll give him a toast. But you guys can get toasted as well. It's very simple. Give us a like and a share over on your Facebook. Give us a subscription on YouTube, or give us a note on your Instagram that tags us on your Instagram stories and just say, come watch this. That's it. That's as simple as we make it. We try to make it super user friendly for everybody who is involved. Says, what's up, bro? I'm trying to see Holland get knocked the fuck out. Oh no, I want Holland to win, bro. But okay. I see that. All right, next fight. I wonder, are they already in cage or are they just killing time? And it says Saturday Madness, Trio of NCAA, Double Tournament Express. All right, well, good enough on that end. We are in a holding pattern, it would see, as they're about to preview Yanez versus Lopez. Too mouthy. I mean, mouthy sells fights, man. Have you guys talked about Brian Ortega and Alex fight being canceled? We did. We're not pleased about it, obviously. These are the real important questions for those of you who don't know. I'm going to read this question and you'll see why LA2LB is probably the best question asker out of everybody in our comment section. And the question is, will Edge become champion? No. I don't want to put a money on that one. I just feel like the answer is no. Whatever Vince feels, ooh, that's such a great kick, by the way. Whatever Vince feels is the right answer, he always does the opposite. So we'll see. I have a note here as well that says Holland will definitely win by a minimum, at minimum TKO. We'll see. And it says, ugh, please no. I think right now what Kevin may be expressing is the fact that you do have Roman Reigns at his heelish best with one Paul Heyman. And I dig the head of the table bit. I think that's a really good thing for him. And He's actually pretty fun as a heel. The real question is, what are they going to do at WrestleMania? Is it a triple threat match? Because it feels like it's a triple threat match, right? But we'll see. I hear that they have been basically rewriting and writing that script as they go. So could be dicey. But LA2LB, you always come with the right questions. I will take further questions on that. I'll take any pro wrestling questions you guys have. That's the easiest one to answer. But Ortega and Volk would have been a really good fight, man. That one hurts my soul a little bit. And it sucks because, again, with these pay-per-views going up, and I'm pot committed. I don't really have a choice, but the rest of you have a choice, and I always look out for you guys. And looking at some of these names, this is what we're left with. Stipe and Francis, which great. Woodley and Luque. Okay. Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Alameda. And Karma Worthy and Jamie Malarkey. $69. It appears, in response to your question, why did it get canceled? It is because somebody from Volk's camp, or Volk himself, has a COVID test that seemed to come back positive. So that is the official word that we have gotten throughout the evening. We were told that it was canceled because of COVID protocols, but that didn't specify who it was. But there was a recent tweet that basically told us that it was coming from Volk's side. Not like that matters a ton, but that's the information we have for you. It's annoying, and I'm very sad about it. Hopefully we get it rescheduled in one of the future pay-per-views, but again, looking at the rest of these fights, Alonzo Menafield, William Knight, Jessica Penne, Hannah Goldie, the other Namrakarov, and Jared Gooden, Modestas Baskas versus Michael Oljisic. Like, this is a very bad minefield of names I can't pronounce, if we're just being read. And you're saying, damn it, it's a C- card at this point. It is. And it says Brian is simply escaping a whooping. Maybe. But it could have been a fun whooping to watch. And Ortega could surprise us, but I don't know about that. And it says basically paying for the main event. You really are. Or if you hate Sean O'Malley, to see him get kind of murked if he does. I don't know if that's the case. Just remember, he's still undefeated in his head. But people get invested in that sort of shit, man. They get really into that story for him, and I think he sells part of it. So I get that. Bottom of the card, Jillian Robertson, Miranda Maverick, Shane Young, Omar Morales, Marc-Andre Barricault versus Abu Al-Zattar, which, by the way, does sound like the fakest of names. Like, Abu Al-Zattar sounds like they are hitting you up asking, good fine sir / madam, can I interest you in these fine gis and apparels that we make? That chute box, Alameda. I need that old Alameda to show up. I hear you, man. Adrian Yanez. And I think that's Gustavo on this one as well. It's Gustavo Lopez, who recently had a win over friend of the show, Tony Burchak. That was a rough one because they're actually friends. And Tony had a very, very great episode that he did with us at Verbal Tap, where he told us all about the background of how they called each other. And they're like, you know what? We might as well do this fight. We know each other, and is what it is. And Lopez ended up with the win. And it says, are Nigerians inherently warlike? Where does this come from? I don't feel that I am adept enough to give you a quotation on Nigerians being warlike, but okay. Like, if I just say yes, does that satisfy it? Like, sure. There you go. Y'all now just trying to get me canceled and shit. The cruise angle. Yes, no, I get that. That's better. That's a better way of doing that. You're talking about the Apollo Crews angle where he's embraced being a savage right now. I don't know. It's actually a fun thing. I do like that he has something better to do, though. Anytime I see somebody kind of like nail a little bit more of a character, or it resonates a little bit better with them, I get pretty excited. Speaking of pretty excited, we're now at another fight. Yanez Lopez. Lopez in the green trucks because Mexican enough. So that's usually what they do on those fights. And then meanwhile, you've got Yanez in the black trunks. So we start off with this right now. I've got 4:30 on my clock. Hopefully you are somewhere in the same vicinity. And we are already starting to see some work here. Lopez trying to stalk down Yanez. Be an interesting start to the festivities. And it says enough, LOL. Wait. Did they wait? He just said that's gonna be the next one on my list. When you said enough, was that, are they talking about the movie Enough, starring Jennifer Lopez? Is this the commentary that I miss when I'm away? It says, "Will the Fiend return tomorrow?" He better, dude. We need some shit for WrestleMania. Nice kick to the leg there. Daniel Wright asks, not showing the fight. No, this is a fight companion, but thank you for watching along. If you want some narration, I'm happy to tell you what's going on, but no, we will not be showing the fight. I'm not risking my channel just to show it. Thank you, though. It says, no, Mexican enough to wear the green shorts. Yes, that is correct. Just making sure. I couldn't tell when I heard them talking about that'll be the next recommendation on my list. But by the way, enough. If you ever want to see a 5-year-old outact Jennifer Lopez, watch that movie. It is gloriously bad. Not like it's hard to do, but it is what it is. Let's see. What are they going to do with Murphy? I don't think they know yet, dude. I think they're still trying to figure that shit out. 2:40 on my clock. Ooh, nice connection right there. Yano's very much standing his ground for a split second as Lopez was trying to charge in. Now we're seeing just a little bit of Yanez, like, maybe get a little bit more encouraged to come in on Lopez. But Lopez is the one circling around, trying to pull something out of Yanez, who's looking very still in his stance right now. Ooh, nice catch there by Yanez. And it's kind of weird because you can almost hear in the commentators, they're getting to that point where they're doing that lowered voice where it's almost like golf commentary, where they're essentially going like, and Yanez, very, very slippery with his 1-2 counter. It's very cool to see. That's how you know when you don't have an audience in there. These guys become so used to not having an audience in there that they don't do their normal screaming and shouting. Like Joe Rogan's have to be a little bit more subdued without a crowd. Anytime they do, they're like giant reaction cam and they're overreacting. Now they're really trying to play it up because there is no crowd. Because normally you're screaming over things like you can't hear it because there's a crowd. So that's why half the time whenever they do that reaction shot and they see the camera there and they're always like, oh, it's like no one's making you scream that loud. You're good. Well, Lopez still kind of dancing around, and ooh, Yanez connects, and I can't tell, but it may be a little bit of blood on Lopez's nose right now. Yanez making a lot happen with just a few of these strikes. And you can tell it's all kind of coming together with a little bit of an uppercut here. And it says, what gym does Yanez fight out of? It's a good question. Ooh, hold on. I will answer that as soon as we see a little bit more of this teeing off that's happening right in front of us. Yanez coming in with aggression. He looks like he's starting to get Lopez to be a little bit more afraid. But look at Yanez trying with some of these rope-a-dope nonsense items. Catches a kick for a split second, was going to charge forward himself, but didn't quite keep that momentum. Yanez's hands looks pretty good right now, I have to say. What is up, Hacked to Chunks? Welcome to the show. This is Dude Has Hands. Absolutely. I think we're in agreement here. All right, gents, that's going to go ahead and close out part 1 of this 3-rounder. I'll take your. I mean, we're all in agreement. Yanez has that one, right? There's no reason to ask. Yanez has that one, and we're in good shape. Is there anybody who actually goes to Arby's? Like, amongst you, I would like to get a quick poll. Do you go to Arby's? And follow up question, why do you hate your body? I think these are valid questions to ask. If not, I totally understand if you need to do what you need to do, but just these are important things that I must occasionally ask the people who watch along with us. So I also got a note here that said, who will be the first guy to beef with Reginald? I think that you're getting into the deep cuts where even the people who are like, oh yeah, I kind of watch pro wrestling. It's like, I'm not really that interested to see who Reginald is going to beef with. Looks like they'll probably just keep him to beefing with everybody in the Divas division. I don't know, man, but his crew that he's always hanging out with, like Ricochet and shit, maybe be interesting to see him kind of do some fun stuff with them because they're always hanging out. But we'll see. All right, we're back to work here. 4:48 on my clock. Hopefully you were somewhere in the same range. It is a pleasure to have you guys. My name is Rafa Esparza. I host many shows, the two of which that you probably know, Verbal Tap and Grappling Hour. And right now we're doing a fight companion for UFC Vegas 22. And just looking at that, speaking of 22, look at this. Yanez with 22 to Lopez's 12 significant strikes to begin this second round of fight action. And they're talking about how Yanez hasn't actually seen a second round in fight action in some time, which is an interesting stat to get. I was wondering, I was like, yo, but even for what's his face, for Lopez, his last fight with Burchak, he had him finish within the first 3 minutes. So for both of these gents, I'm sure this is a slight adjustment, nothing too crazy. I would tell you this. So we were asked a little bit earlier where Adrian Yanez is actually fighting out of. I thought it was out in... Nope, it's actually in Houston, Texas. So he's fighting out of Houston, Texas. His affiliation, at least as per Tapology, is Metro Fight Club. So that is the information I have for you. And I gotta tell you, dude, unfortunately, that's why I remembered Yanez. Yanez actually does have hands. He actually knocked out one of my good friends. So, yeah. I knew he had hands, and I burned him out of my memory for that reason. But I think that Yanez is somebody who you can easily watch in that division because my buddy is a fucking zombie. I've seen him in certain fights. And when they were both on the Dana White Contender Series, I saw him take a couple of those hits and he kept getting back up, but Yanez is beast. Quick hands, good counter striker. Absolutely, man. And it was tough to watch, but it was one of those things where I walked away from that fight being like, yo, good for him, man. LA2LB asked a question. I like this question. It says, would you ever do these live at a bar when they open up like a radio show? Maybe. Not against it. There's always been talk of taking Verbal Tap live. I'd love to do a fight companion with a number of people. I think it'd be actually a lot of fun to do. So I'd love to also try and put the spotlight back on bars. The hard part is finding the right bar that this is something that they're into. Because not every bar is like a huge MMA thing. It says here, straight monos. Absolutely, man. But we'll circle back to that, LA2LB. We will. But yeah, man. If you ever want to go see that fight, the Dana White Contender Series, Yanez, I mean, the minute I saw that, I go, he's going to get in there, dude. And he just won his last fight against Victor Rodriguez via head kick. That wasn't a surprise. He has a win over Kyle Estrada, who's now in the UFC as well. And just to go down the list a little bit further, like, dude's been winning for a while, man. He's a solid fucking fighter. It's always one of those things where you see somebody who beats your friend and you go, damn, that sucks, but he is good. I do have to admit that. Oof. And Lopez, I mean, to his credit, he's still in this fight. So there's it. Jim, I told you it was Metro Fight Club was his affiliation. So let me just double check that for you. Yep, out of Houston, Texas. Take some callers. I'm not against that. What is up, Evers Eddie? Appreciate you for dropping in. Every time he catches one of those kicks too, man. Got it. Thanks. I got you, bro. That's what I'm here for. I'm your man in the chair. 39 seconds left to go. And just look how composed Yanez is, though. I like that Lopez, dude. He's still trying to dance him around him. And, like, it has no way of taking Yanez off his game. Looking at the significant strikes, 22 and 18 for Yanez versus Lopez is 12 and 5. Eek. Last few seconds in round number 2. Probably won't see too much at the very tail end of this. I mean, Lopez does like get a nice strike on him, but doesn't even remotely phase Yanez. All right. It's a pretty straightforward affair here right now. I think Yanez is looking real solid. I think Lopez has a lot to overcome here, but, you know, we've seen stranger things happen. It's a good time to remind you guys, if you give us a like and a share on Facebook, we give you a toast. If you give us a subscription on YouTube, we give you a toast. And if you give us a little Instagram post with a photo of us that says to come watch us over on this channel at Verbal Tap, we give you a toast as well. Look at this. We have a celebrity in the building right now. Sven from Strength Mobility. I just went there to train today. Sven, I want you to see something. I think we discovered this today. What's up, Kurt? Of course. What I want you to see right now is something my wife pointed out to me. And I don't know who did it, but I'm blaming you. But my wife pointed out, look at this. Look at that. That's a bruise, my friend. And you know where that bruise probably came from? Probably somebody who was gripping my arm quite firmly, Sven. I'm just saying, now I'm going to have to walk around like this all week. And I'm going to ask like I've been brutally beat in a domestic abuse case. I'm going to be like, who did this to you? And I'm like, Sven, and he's mean to me, and he's trying to submit me, and I hate him. 'Twas the mullet, man. I actually thought about if it was. Oh, yeah. Yanez is fucking money, dude. Oh, fuck. Yeah, okay. Dude, this is going to be complicated because I actually have to do a toast to this man who beat up my friend previously. I mean, I like him, though. I don't dislike him. I disliked him 2 months ago or 3 months ago, but I like him now. But yeah, I thought it might be the mullet. I thought about it. But then I started realizing, I was like, you know, Sven might have actually had a really good grip. I don't know which one it is. I'm just blaming you. It really doesn't even matter who it is. So, just saying. So, thanks, Sven. But if you guys want good training, go on over to Strength Mobility. Sven probably won't do this to you. I'm just kind of like a weird, like, we have like a little mini rivalry. So, like, this is kind of what I'm sure he's doing to me. Motherfucker. And it says his reflexes are feline. Absolutely, dude. He's just, dude, he's got that nice read every time. I think we're looking at somebody who's going to be a problem in this division, though. I felt that day one, man. I felt that after he beat Brady, and I was like, dude, he's good. So, you know, we'll see what lies in store next for him, but some really solid fights on his parts. And again, that head kick from Victor Rodriguez, too. He's got hands. Feet look pretty good, too. And how he can fucking knock people out. Like, good for him, man. All right, I'll take your questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations, all of that good shit. Hit me with what you got. And it says, looks like a Pettis. Kind of, right? Like, I kind of got that vibe as well. I mean, maybe he's just embodied the spirit of Pettis, because the Showtime era was supposed to be a lot longer, and it really wasn't. So, who's to say? Just imagine giving like an officer like a rundown of who hit you, and it's like, well, he looking like a pedis, and he hurt, man. That shit hurt. He he punches real good, dude. All right, let me see here. I got a question, and the study question is: have you studied 52 blocks? I can't say I have. I'm sure I know people who have, but no, I have not. I have not studied 52 blocks. Thank you for asking. That sounds like it's above my pay grade. All right, Giannis is going to get interviewed. I'll do a cheers to him afterwards. They got to do the obligatory selfie. I do also like the coaches who feel like they have to take off their masks because they're like, you know what? Let me get my photo in here. It's like at this point you might as well just walk into the fucking octagon without your masks. Whatever. All right. His interview is probably going to be fun. I think, again, emerging talent. Definitely one of those guys. What's up, Kelvin Big Chillin'? Thank you for joining us. My name is Rafa Esparza. Pleased to have you chatting with us, talking some UFC Vegas 22. We are in awe of Adrian Yanez's counter ability, his hands. Just kid's really good, dude. And Gustavo Lopez he's a tough fighter, man, but Yanez just looks he's gonna be a problem. What is up, MMA? Is that supposed to be like a MM Marcelo, BJJ? It's like MMA and BJJ and Marcelo all in one. So now they're talking about 3 and away. What's up, Alma? I think that's kind of weird to keep talking about his father. I just like the idea of being like, yeah, thanks, dude. I know I honor my father. I appreciate that. So now he's sharing a memory of his father. What's up, Alana? And he's now sharing a memory of when he told his dad one day he's going to fight in the Toyota Center. And he's like, you know what just opened back up? Houston did. I would love to fight there. I mean, here's the nice part is I think the kid is going to face some uphill battles from Dana, who's been trying to make Texas happen. Except Dana's now retreated back to Florida, which is going to have way less restrictions. And so now we're barely just going to get to him talking about his performance. Woo! And he said he knew the entire time that Gustavo was dangerous. And he says he has power in his hands and that he can finish on the ground. All those slow-mo shots look like just still shots that you would have pictured in a frame. That's pretty dope, man. And he said he felt a couple of his power punches and he realized, okay, we need to put this away. But he was saying he was looking for the finish, etc., etc. And he's giving credit on over to Sal Solis back over in Houston. It says Volt came out and said he did in fact test positive for COVID. Thank you to our on-site reporter, Kevin Ross, for confirming that report. Appreciate it. We also did say that a little bit earlier, but I appreciate the double stamp on the factualness of that statement. And he's already looking to book up his next fight. All right, good for him, man. Much love to that kid. That kid's going to be something to watch, so. Damn, dude. I do like that, though. I like that he's like, come to my block. That's a great Call out. All right. Good for him, man. All right, I got to do this cheers now. What's up, body technician? This cheers goes on out to one Adrian Yanez. Yo, so here's the thing, dude. You knocked out one of my friends once, and I shouldn't like you. I really just shouldn't. But you're really good at what you're doing here, man. And honestly, you've been putting together a nice resume here. You definitely belong here. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next for you. Cheers to you. Amazing knockout of Lopez out here tonight. But cheers to you. To what's next? Your note says, kind of surprised it wasn't Brian. Looked like he was all over LA. The way that you phrase that makes it sound like he was getting around LA with the ladies, and I can neither confirm nor deny that. Though I like the fact that on one of his interviews to promote UFC 260, they're like, so what exactly is your relationship with Holly Berry? And it's like, what do you think their relationship is? He's a good-looking dude, and she's Holly Berry. Like, do you need that spelled out for you? Like, do you need to have him confirm, like, yeah, you know, we kind of banged? It's like, dude, that's what good-looking people do. And if they didn't, who cares? He's probably still doing just fine. Not worried about Brian Ortega on if he's not going to do it. Because Brian Ortega, when they do those little, like the hair for him, motherfucker looks like a unicorn. Every time I see him, I'm like, yo, he shouldn't be fighting. He should be preserved in a museum or some shit. But would it shock you? Kid is handsome as fuck. None of that shocks me, dude. And he and I have been at the same place a couple times. We've never actually met, but we know similar people in similar circles. And when I think he was somewhere, I think at a combat jiu-jitsu thing a couple years ago, I was taking photos, and you know, he's very nice. He waved at my camera, and he was taking I guess posed photos with one of his fighters who was competing at that thing. It was just a really nice guy. And I appreciate people who platform their fighters and put them in the foreground and always make sure that we get them. Something similar is Beltran. Like when Beltran refs, if you're a photographer, Beltran makes sure to find the photographers. And if you're outside the cage, he points them at you. And I think that is the dopest thing possible. But when you're a fighter and it's one of your homies who's really there, we know you as the fighter. And I really appreciate those fighters who are making sure that no, you can get a photo of me, but make sure you're covering my guy. And it's like, well, that's really cool. I appreciate that. And it says, Brian is a dime piece. All right, guys, I think at this point you're treating him like a piece of meat. So we're going to go ahead and close out this conversation. Just like he's a good looking dude. He's a dime piece. I'd hit that. That's what it seems like everybody is about to say at this point. Changing subjects. I got a question here. It says, LA2LB, have you ever knocked anyone out? No, I don't. I'm not a striker, I would say. And in jiu-jitsu, I am very careful about how I roll with people. I am more of a fan of systematically dismantling bombs. So when I roll with people, there's a lot of seeing if I am able to hurt them without hurting them. I guess this is the nicest way to say it. But I do some striking, and I love doing that. That's been probably the only reason I didn't get super fat during the pandemic. And I very much appreciate all the opportunities I get to do striking and learn. I'm just a big student on that. But in jiu-jitsu, you can. And I usually try to put people close. Although I will say, earlier tonight, somebody did say that I almost put him to sleep with a clock choke. And that is true. But because I monitored the situation, they didn't go out. Because I'm pretty good about doing that. Whoa, hold up. I had closed that conversation, but I will not let you disrespect the name of Brian Ortega with your 7 out of 10. Who the fuck is your 10 out of 10? The disrespect will not go forward here. Not on my watch. This motherfucker's coming in with a 7 out of 10. Rude. Tell me who's a 10 out of 10. What's up? Look, Milt is here. Speaking of which, if you guys are looking for a great place to get some striking in, I would highly encourage you to go check out my friend, the guy behind MMA Academy. That is Milton Agreo's Mixed Martial Arts Academy. Go check him out. He's got great striking. He's all right as a human being, but his striking's really good. Either way, I would be very pleased if you guys are in the area and you want to go check that out. He's good people-ish. And it says, "Ah, shit, Milton here just ruined the party. Oh, no." You just asked me on here, LA2LB, what's your lifting split? Bro, I don't do any of that shit. Like, well, I will, I'll promote this out. Look, this is GCal Fitness. You have to ask him all lifting questions. I hate lifting, but I don't hate Gabe. GCal Fitness, the only reason I am not a moron about this sort of stuff, but as Gabe will tell you, I don't lift weights in a very pleasant form. I usually get really angry and there's a lot of cursing at him, so he puts up with it. So either way, appreciate y'all for stopping in. But yes, we are having a good day. So what is my lifting split? I wouldn't say anything to report home about, like a brag. I have the most remedial of both, I would say, athletic lifting abilities and boxing. So now they're starting to get me to try and kick shit. And I gotta tell you, man, you know what really is hard to do when you're trying to adjust how you kick is when you played soccer all of your life. There are certain ways you kick the ball playing soccer. And now I am way older than that age. And so when people are like, yo, I need you to kind of do this, I'm like, bro, I'm trying. My brain will like not overwrite parts of that. So just a student, wouldn't be anything different, but definitely love training it. But jiu-jitsu is always going to be the home base for me. But thank you for asking. Either way, throw your questions at me. Please to go ahead and take your questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations, all that good stuff while we got a few minutes before we get to the next fight, which, by the way, is Cheyenne buys and Montserrat Ruiz. It's when the name actually has the word rat in it, I feel really bad. You just asked me, will we see the singularity in our lifetime? So let me see what I'm supposed to. Singularity is just the most ridiculous. So you're talking about super intelligent machines. Very possible. I don't know that we're ever going to see a vision in our lifetime or anything like that. But yes, that's the wildest question I've been asked here today. I just like the fact that we got a Suri that will do occasional things for me. But you know the one thing that Suri doesn't do for me that really upsets me is if I'm taking a shower and like the alarm goes off, I try to yell at like, hey Suri, could you turn off that alarm? And then it doesn't do it. But guess what? Now it fucking does it. Because now it's hearing me say it. Suri, disregard. The fuck, man? It says the hip movement with soccer kicks are completely different than Taekwondo, Muay Thai. They are, dude. And it baffles my shit. I am literally, every time I do any kind of kick, one of my guys was like, yo, you need to not curve in your foot. Like, can you not go around something? And I'm like, dude, that's normally how I get my top spin, is when I would come down. I also don't play soccer anymore, so I really don't have an excuse to learn something different, but it's just the way my brain was pre-programmed. So, is what it is. But I do appreciate the fact that you are giving me at least some solace in knowing that, yes, it is something that I will probably continue to struggle with. I would also tell you guys, if you do need some kind of striking and training, you can also go over to Strength and Mobility. I'm just saying, my boys over there also will take care of you guys. We have so many friends who are good at like so many different things. Like we literally have you covered in every way, shape, and form in the fighting game. They'll give you good rehab. They'll give you good fitness plans. Like everybody here, I would say everybody but Kevin has something to offer here. Yeah, that sounds about right. But yes, fights coming in very, very shortly. Pleased y'all are here with us here tonight. I am having a blast. I hope you are too. And as so far, the beer of the evening has been the Timbo Pills, which has been treating me well all evening long. I'm very much appreciating it. It is a West Coast style Pilsner with Mosaic hops. Nice compliment to my day. It's enough where, as I was sipping it, I was like, you know what? I just really enjoy this. This is really nice, smooth way. And how do you get cheers is, it's pretty simple. Give us a like and a share on Facebook. Give us a subscription on YouTube, or give us a share on your Instagram stories and tell people to come check this out. And I see a note here from LA2LB that says, Buys bad AF. Well, Buys has to redeem the family name here tonight. She is a little bit of an advantage on the height. We'll see how that plays out for the rest of the evening. And it says, hey, I can offer excellent sparring rounds and calf kicks. That's true. I can give you the calf kicks. Although I've never seen it live. Well, that's not true. I did see you compete. I did see you fight, and I did photograph that. But I don't know about that in sparring. See, I feel like Kevin is the person I'm like, I'm not sparring with him. Why the fuck do you think I'm going to spar with him? Yo, I'm like the Zoom fitness class. Kevin is the fight guy. Nah. You said LA2LB, bad meaning good looking. I got you, man. I thought you meant that she was just a bad motherfucker, as in like, yo, she really good. But sure, if you mean bad meaning good looking, that's fine. You're taking the Michael Jackson bad definition. I get that. Court, how are things going for you, sir? Are you enjoying the fights here tonight? Speak to me. You're a little quiet. We always like to try and keep a very active chat section on both here and on our broadcasts over on all the Grappling Hour properties. I'm appreciating y'all for being here tonight. I'm having a blast. We're about to get started in just a second on this next fight. And Buys is not messing around. I think that she saw her husband lose. Hands are up. She is ready to go. She is all business right now. And she is in the black and already looking pretty good. However, she's getting just bum rushed by, how do we say her name? Are we going to call her Coño? Or Coño? I'm going to call her Coño because I just feel like that's the right way to pronounce it. If it's wrong, I also don't really care all that much. Buys getting bum rushed by Coño, who has one underhook, but Buys reverses the position, pushes her into the cage. What is up, Michael Hayes Moyler? Good to see you. Or Moeller. Apologies on that last read. Look at this. She's trying to go for this judo side control. Now she's getting in some of these punches, and she's well to do here. And I think that some of the previous clips that they were showing was that, I want to say that one of the clips they showed in the preview here was that this is where she is really solid at. Look how comfortable she is, and look at how red Buys is turning in the face. There's a lot of time to spend in this position where you're really not able to do much out of it. There are ways you can get out of it, but it is tough when somebody is really used to their weight and having that position very well timed off. But notice you can't even really get over to his side. There are some schools of thought that you can kind of wrap your arms around the head and kind of rock them back and forth to create some motion, but instead she was opting to try and get to her knees to maybe create a little bit of a scramble situation, but instead she's taking some punches in this section. What is up, Bronin? Good to see you, bro. It's been a while. Coño is still just... and I mean, she has the inner thigh. And speaking of which, I'm glad that Bronin is here right now because this is exactly the type of world that you want to live in with catch wrestling. So I see here, it says, gotta Gordon, you're Ryan. I don't know what that means, but okay. I appreciate it nonetheless. I think I like it. I think I'm favorable to it. Don't know what it means, but again, good for you. Yeah, look at this. 240. So she spent a good deal of time in this position, at least racking up at about 1:30, if not 2 minutes in this. And it says, unless you Ryan your Hall. That's so weird. Now you're making it weird, dude. Don't make it weird. And she's just staying in this position. The worst part is I don't think she's really going to get a fight finish by just peppering her with these kind of little rabbit punches here. But it's just the amount of control and finesse that she has in this position that makes you go, yeah, this death grip not so fun to be in. If you ever just have somebody with that much pressure on you, though, it can be so debilitating. It feels endless, and I wouldn't recommend it. Definitely gets a bad Yelp review from here. But you might see buys just kind of endure it, though, if it's just enough. It's annoying. It says, I believe in hauling your Gordon. She gets to her knees, and yet she can't get out of it because the addressed arms have not really been figured out here. Oh, shit. If she can move that arm that is hugging her and kind of put it in between her legs, there's obviously some attacks you can do from here. You have those like Kimuras and Americanas that you can hit from there. And it says she should be elbowing. And she says she needs to sit through and attack the scarf hold from Kesugatami. Sounds great, bro. Speak it in English like the rest of the people here need to understand it. Ugh. She is setting it up. What is up? I'm Blue 28. Good to see you, my man. Good training with you earlier today. It's been too long. I mean, listen, dude. She's held this position for now 3 minutes. This is, again, not great. She's going to want to... Ooh. That's even when it gets to that neck crank ability. Use her leg to break her elbow thingy. There you go. That's a much better description. Just look at the control, though, dude. She's not, like, Bias is going anywhere. Bias might as well buy property here. But the good news is, at the 30-second mark, you will see her get an opportunity to get a reset. Now you know you don't want to be in this position again. Now you know you got to do something drastic. And it says, is that a 10-8? I think for grappling control, the unfortunate part is I don't know how much damage she ended up really inflicting in there. But look at this. Great. You get out at the opportune moment when they give you the buzzer, but good for her. Thank you, sir. Always a pleasure. Well, I don't know about that. You know, I'm fun to roll with. I wouldn't say it's always a pleasure, but whatever. None. No damage. Yeah. I mean, especially how spry Bias kind of got back up with. That's the shit that you just feel really sore with. Where you're just like, this is annoying. But let's see. Hopefully she pieces it together a little bit more. I would say, though, it could also have been a little exhausting. I don't know that's amount of damage she's inflicted, but sure. Plus, I don't know if you've seen how mad Dana White has gotten with all these 10-8s that have been handed out. The whole Izzy fight, when there was a 10-8, Dana White was inconsolable backstage. Could not stop talking about it. And the weird part is, I'm like, I agree with you, but what the fuck? LA2LB says, do you train no-gi? Yes, I do. I train both gi and no-gi. I think it is important to do both. Not everybody does it. I really don't care if they don't. But I think it's really important that you stay adept at them. And for my own personal jiu-jitsu journey, I like to be able to kind of know how to hang in both of those worlds. And already, we're off to the races. And look at Bias. Bias is coming in being like, don't you ever fucking do that to me again. 4:46 on my clock. And you get the referee starting to do a slide all around just to try and stay up with the action. Yeah, I mean, Bisping's giving her credit and saying she definitely connected on a lot of those strikes. And also, what is the tattoo on the back left shoulder of Konyo? I'll get to your question in a second, LA2LB. Yeah, I don't think we're too far off. They're calling her Corneño, so I can go with that too. Oh, I didn't hear that. Yeah, Vic Davila is in the corner. Good for him, man. He's got busy work to do. Vic's got to be back at Combat Jiu-Jitsu, which, by the way, we're doing a fight companion tomorrow for. Yeah, Konyo is very, very potentially going to drag her back down again. If she's been working with Master Vic, though, could be good for her jiu-jitsu as well. But obviously, she's proven very, very efficient with these drag downs and this side headlock every single time, dude. It just wraps up buys. to a point where Buys really doesn't do much. But right now she gets out of it. Holy shit. Let's see what happens from here. No, not back down into that. And it might have taken a little bit of a stinger to the brain as she almost, I don't want to say it gets DDT'd down, but definitely gets spiked down a little bit. Now, this is where I would say our good friend Bronin had his suggestions on how to get out. I think the body mechanic is a little bit better where she can get here if she knows what to do. But Drain Daddy doing the face palm emoji as to say, let's not be here again. Easier said than done. What is up, TBJJS? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. It's been a while. Or probably since the last one of these. But I'm glad you're here. It says he called it Pennywise the Clown. Oh, that's not good. She might be better at head and arm takedowns than Ronda. Oh, no. Someone has opened up the Ronda floodgates of chatting about how things were better this way. I don't know, man. Ronda was always really money at finding that position and doing a very consistent thing. God, it's been so long since we've seen those arm bars too. What a different time we all lived in. But now the divisions evolved, just like all the divisions. That's why I find it so funny. People are always like, you know, Ronda had weak divisions and she was in. I'm always like, yo, if you looked at some of those old UFC fights, like, I'm just saying, some of our hardcore legends, like, their fights also. Just saying. And it says, Captain Spaulding from the House of 1,000 Corpses. Good Lord. All right, we're almost, I think, is this kind of a crucifix? Yeah. That's not fun. Buys is doing whatever she can to get out of here. And it says that head and arm takedown. It's working for her, man. And credit to Buys that she even has this much flexibility to try and make something happen out of it. It's not doing a whole ton, but I can tell you I don't have that flexibility to make that happen. She is reversing the angle, and she might get out, and she does. There we go. And it says she's getting rocked on her feet, though. Yes, she is. And it says she was so goddamn good at one thing, and it was amazing to watch. Absolutely, man. Let us all be good at one thing in our lives like that. That would be dope. And you know what? She was so goddamn good at that one thing that by the time she made it to the WWE, she had a finisher. It's genius. That's why when people go, oh, is all Ronda do armbar? You take that to the WWE audience and they're like, that armbar looks pretty cool to us. We don't know any better. Again, indeed. But this time, maybe, could it be different? Ground control time has been 6:55. You better not try and heel hook her. You can feel the 10th planet influence so strong right now. With 16 seconds left to go, she's fine. Buys is going to probably try and pass guard. It is unfortunate, though, that Buys' best jiu-jitsu happens within the last 20 seconds. But yes, this is the right choice. Get in your elbows while you can and try to create some kind of murder to her because she's going to do that again. Advancing to mount, very nice. Absolutely, dude. The question I had here from LA2LB says, do you honey hole like the Death Squad? On occasion, but not like they do. They're very good at it. I would say the only difference is I am not afraid to not call it honey hole, though. That's why I hate all these different terms and ways that people refer to these things as, because I'm always like, hearing Danaher go off about the honey hole and why you shouldn't call it that is always like, I don't care. I hear you, Danaher. I also do not care, but thank you. And it says the harder you hold that position, I think is what you're saying, the easier it is to sweep you back. Correct. It is a very strange position where if a lot of people aren't used to it, stuff like that happens. And even sometimes if you are used to it, sometimes they can just have a very good base. It just depends on, I guess, the cards you get pulled on that one, or dealt is a better way of saying that one. Third and final round. Let us see if mistakes can be corrected. Appreciate y'all for coming on in. We'll get a cheers to friend of the show, one Adam Woods, in a few seconds. Much love and appreciation to all of y'all. we're having a great night tonight, and I'm enjoying you guys being here. I hope that you're enjoying yourselves. I've got 4:41 on my clock. Hopefully you are in the same vicinity. But yes, I think Bisping is now making it pretty clear that Bias is going to need the finish to get any kind of win here, and that is pretty well covered in this section. But we'll see how she's able to respond to the pressure here in this third and final round of the fight. And I would tell you guys this. It says Bias needs to get some calf kicks on those legs. Possibly. I think calf kicks are the new fascination for everybody right now. I'm open to whatever she is in what she wants to try and do in this fight. Ooh, that's an interesting question. I'll come back to that one. Now, 346. And Gonyo's just trying to keep her head moving a little bit, trying to stay out of range for Bias. And in this one, Bias has 22 significant strikes to 9 for Gonyo's. Like to go back and see some of those stats as well and the breakdown of them, but little teep kick account right there. Nothing doing. I think Konyo, I wonder if she got tired from any part of that. Because I know that Bias looks not bad on the feet, but I just wonder, like, it seems like Konyo's entire strategy thus far in is to kind of evade. And I can't tell if she's just trying to stay out of the range or just trying to make sure she doesn't find herself straight down the line of all these strikes. But just look at her. She's mostly sidestepping. She made one strike attempt in the past 30 seconds. And I don't know what this is that she's doing, but this pretending to throw a kick is not my jam. Just saying. I'll come to this question since we've got a little bit of a, not lull. No, don't let her do it again. Oh, God damn it. I just think for the sake of all of us watching this fight, we just don't want to see you get that head and arm toss again. No, it's happening again. God damn it. Ugh. All right, I'm going to answer a question because we just got right back to this position, and that's going to be a very sad thing to watch. Would you train BJJ if you lost one eye? Yes, absolutely. I think I am going to get wheelbarrowed out to the mats when I am in an old age for BJJ. I don't think it's going anywhere with me, so that's just me. I just love doing this sport. I think it's great. I think it keeps my brain in a good, positive position, keeps me challenged physically, mentally. Can't ask for more than that. It says both duckable as hell. Thank you. I'm glad that is something we covered. And it says, I mean, Bias could at least try the roll through technique. Yes, I don't. Let's put it this way. Normally, I don't like to say things definitively, but I think we can somewhat definitively say, I don't think she knows how to do it. You know? Like, just saying. There it is. Oh, it happened. It only took 14 minutes. Yay. And she's trying to drag her down and maybe get one hook in. It's dicey. Oh, truck, though. You better stop with that truck. If she's training at all with Master Vic, they're going to be well versed in that. And you need to go to guard immediately at this second. And I see a note that says back take. Yeah. 36 seconds left to go here. You know, at least Bias, you made some in-round adjustments. Trying to kick those legs down on the butt really won't do a ton, but you do you, boo. You do you. And the referee is just saying, like, hey, we need some action here. No, failed. Yep. Sorry, Alex. It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Well, we're looking at a Konyo win. But at least they're ending it kind of scrappily. There's just a lot of random girl fight at a drunk. Oh, no. Y'all, we literally had 15 minutes to do this. This is so ridiculous. Like, why would you try to get into a fight with somebody at the end of a fight like you didn't just have fucking 15 minutes to fucking do it? Like, if you brought that attitude into the past 15 minutes, we might have had a knockout. It says, I liked it better when Nick Diaz did it. Eh. The Diaz brothers are a weird fucking anomaly. Is that what she said? Please tell me she said this, because I just got a text from Kev that says, I'll follow you home, you bitch. Please tell me she said that. There's no better line to me. Like, fuck the rest of us for the rest of the night, because that's the line of the night if she said that in there. If that's Kevin's genius, then fine, I will give him the credit for it. But I'll follow you home, you bitch, is the best. That's great. She also said, I will follow you home. Love it. It's better than Nate Diaz or Nick Diaz. That's great. That's that's genius. You know what it is? It's reminiscent of D. Reynolds being like, I will eat your babies, bitch. Like, it's too good. You know, sometimes you can get surprised to yourself. Wasn't expecting that tonight. And we got a question from Adam Woods that says, do you think they'd both get 86 after their debut? I don't know, man. I would say that would sell another fight, but we just saw what this one looked like. So maybe? She spit on her. Oh my goodness. The disrespect. Well, this wasn't a great fight, but it's a really good reality show. So I'll say that. Oof. There's a lot of shushing. Master Vic's there. His son is right there too. Look at that. Oh, hug. Yay. Jump hug. I'm going to have a chat with Master Vic about that. Oh. Okay. Ugh. Oh, God. This is how you know you can't take Mexicans anywhere. Like, the fact that she's literally salsa dancing. Like, I get the kind of circle jump moment. I get that. That's fine. It's a very soccer thing to do. But the fact that they're, like, dancing their way out of the cage. Oh, my God. This is ridiculous. It says that was whack. She's lucky she did all that. Her hips don't lie at all. I will follow you home, bitch. It's too good. I hope they bring Vic to do the translating for her, because I think she has some questions to answer here. Oh, guys, that was great. You know what? I take it all back. The 15 minutes that we saw in that headlock position. Mwah. Yes, Vic is doing the translation, I believe. Thank you very much. I feel so happy. And she's giving all praise to Master Vic. And credit to us out here in Los Angeles, El Paso, New York, to Ibiza. And shout out my manager. All right, you got a shout out there. Hey, good for you, manager. Yep, again, with the Mexicans, can't stop shouting out people. Don't ever give us a microphone to shout out people. If you even say, I want to shout out a family member, cut the mic. You literally, like, honestly, you can't shout out all of Mexico. Did you just shout out the beach, too? And now, apparently, Felder's just saying, we look forward to seeing you in the future. Ugh, good Lord. That's the beauty of it, though. I'm just saying, dude. If you see me on there and I'm like, yeah, I just want to shout out one of my family members, you know I'm lying. You know I'm going to shout them all out. I'm going to be like, my tios. I want to thank specifically the tios that taught me boxing. I want to shout out my tias because if not, I will have issues. But that's just my mom's side. I'm going to shout out my dad's side right now. But then I'm also going to shout out like our ancestors and also like South Mexico. I don't really know North Mexico. I know South Mexico. But I'm going to turn back for you, North Mexico, as we keep this going. Also, I want to shout out the East Coast because like East Coast and West Coast, it's good that we finally got our beef like out of the way. I just remember 1995. That was crazy. Oh my God. I also want to shout out like all my people in high school. Thank you so much. I love you guys for your pyramid schemes. Thank you so much for including me with your MLMs. I also want to shout out like my first grade teacher. You were dope. You didn't teach me much, but I do remember that you were very positive about not teaching me. And also, oh man, I forgot somebody. I'm just going to shout out all of Mexico. Not necessary. Brown people the worst, bro. This is so stupid. Well, there wasn't a fight finish there, so I'm not doing a cheers. But you know who I could do a cheers for? Adam Woods. This cheers goes on out to friend of the show, Adam Woods. Adam, I gotta tell you this. I'm so Mexican, I would shout out almost everybody I know if I was given the opportunity with a microphone after winning a fight in the UFC. But I wouldn't shout you out. It's not really a fact. It's just something I'm just saying. Cheers to you. It's because you have another podcast. I think that's the reason why. All of us who have podcasts, we shout each other out plenty. We're fine. This is so stupid. I will say it is kind of fun to watch the DC getting knocked out by Stipe clips. So I will give it that. Dude, stop. I've gotten texted, I will follow you home, you bitch, by another source. That's amazing. Coño shoutouts for all. Maybe I should actually do it in a Chola accent when that happens. It's like, oh my God, like I have so many people to shout out. Like, first of all, like, to everybody in the world, shout out like everybody, because like everybody going through something right now, and like that's hard. And like you know, when you shout out like your persons, like I want to shout out like LAX, JFK, like all like the airports for like flying me. And I want to shout out the coronavirus for like, even though it sucks, for giving me the opportunity to get better at my craft. That's it. I'm done with that bit now. It's so stupid. All right. Give me your thoughts, your hopes, your dreams, your comments, your concerns. We still have, by my count here, at the very least, 2 more fights to go. And the 2 fights we have left on the docket tonight are Song Keenan and Max Griffin, as well as Derek Brunson and Kevin Holland. Them's the fights we got. So I'm very excited to do them. I'm very excited you're here to watch along with us. They're plugging UFC 260, so we're plugging you guys. Throw your shit at me. Tell me what you'd like to talk about today, because I'm slowly finishing on out the day. Just 2 more fights. That's all we got to do here, fam. And then tomorrow we do the dream again. We will get together. We're going to do a event for a fight companion for the combat jiu-jitsu that starts at 3 p.m. Best Coast time. And I would love to see all of your beautiful faces again tomorrow. And if you don't want to do it, I mean, I would just be sad. But we're still probably going to do it anyway. So, them's the notes I got for y'all. Anyways, let me give this a nice little share over on our other social medias, so that way everybody can watch along, play along with us, and have some fun. Because so far, so good, right? Like, all things considered, a pretty decent night of fights. All right. Boo. All right, kids. Talk to me with your questions at the moment since we've got a few seconds. I'm very excited to take them, and I'm happy to answer what I can for you while we have the time, because it might be a few minutes before we get another fight coming in. I guess we should probably talk about the fact that Dana White was probably the last person in the world to figure out that Khabib Nurmagomedov was going to go ahead and retire, which, when they finally put up the post that said Khabib Nurmagomedov is finally retiring, let's be very clear. He retired. They just finally admitted it. It was not like he said, you know what? I'm not sure if I'm going to retire. He said, no, here are the gloves. We're done. Good night, everybody. It's been a blast. And yet, when Dana White was like, he's finally fucking retired. No, he didn't. He already retired months ago. You were the one that told us, you know, I like my odds. If I'm betting on me to go ahead and get him to come on back. Well, you didn't. Hashtag you tried. He'll fight GSP. I don't want to see that fight. I don't care about that fight. GSP is old. You know what GSP is doing right now? Starring in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. And he's just happy being mediocre in that. And I got to tell you, we love us some GSP, but there's no better love for GSP than watching him in a show like that and saying, like, good for you, GSP. You really don't belong in this, but because you're so good of an athlete at MMA, we kind of have to look at you and say, you deserve this. If you haven't seen it, I'll give you a quick recap. GSP basically gets in, is being an evil villain, trying to kidnap somebody, and is laughing in his GSP way. And it's immaculate. And even when he does his line reads, he's like, oh, here's some stuff in French Canadian. Oh no, GSP is going to fly out of a paper airplane. Genius. Absolute genius. Cannot recommend it enough. 10 out of 10 would watch again. So anyway, that is what we have for you guys. Very excited, very stoked about that. We'll go ahead and give this a share right now, so that way anybody who's watching along with us can just enjoy their evening along with us, because guys, what show is this? It's the Disney Plus Falcon and Winter Soldier show. He's Captain Canada or something. I don't know his name. I remembered knowing it when Captain America 2 came out, and then I was like, yo, I don't know who that character is anymore. I forgot. Watch along with us. Oh no. My apologies. Just back on the Yeti. I might have just downgraded the audio for a second, but we are back up and running. So yes, tomorrow we return back with a fight companion, combat jiu-jitsu. It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it. But I'm enjoying you guys right now. And I'm now starting to think about what I'm going to have for dinner, because my wife is coming from work at some point. But yes, Keenan versus Griffin is the fight at hand. And a little bit earlier, Song Keenan was given the nod by our good friend, one Dan Hubler, who said, look at this one. No Deer 4668 had asked me to be in this. Thank you. Sorry about it. This is a solo show, but I appreciate the love and the attempt to come on in. Plus, we're broadcasting on multiple streams, so I don't have the ability to bring on a guest, unfortunately. But good Lord. You can't give me an angry sign. It's just what it is. Oh, fun. I'm appreciating y'all for saying nice things, though. We're getting texts from friends who are saying they are enjoying what they're seeing. We're getting notes from a few of our friends who are saying, are you watching the fights tonight? The answer is obviously. But yeah, y'all have been great so far. We got 2 more fights left to go, and no signs of stopping anytime soon. What is the angry emojis for? Like, what are you angry about? Why do you think that you should be on the show? The show is usually me or an invited guest. I don't understand where the anger is coming from, but okay. All right, friends. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. I saw a note here. Yeah, the Snyder Cut. We should probably talk about that. We'll get to that in a minute. But I see what y'all are doing. I see that you guys have been watching the Snyder Cut. I've seen so many status updates and friends who have been chiming in with notes, comments, concerns on that one. So we'll obviously get to chatting about that in a few minutes. But in the meantime, if you haven't watched, I guess, the Snyder Cut, if you're going to do it and you hate your life and you hate 4 hours, you can watch it. It's a choice that you make. Every person should make that choice for themselves. And I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Oh my goodness. All right. Other question I got a little bit earlier. Yes, I'll go back to this one, but it was like, do you train no gi? I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've trained gi since November though. Usually my training time is pretty limited, but when I get out there, I do love training both if I can. It's just been recently, it's been really hard to fucking get time to go out there and train the gi, but I do love doing it. But it is going to be fun to get back to training gi. I saw my gym was getting ready to come back together and do their thing, so I'm very excited to go get back and train with those folks very soon. What's up, Elliot Kelly? Good to see you, my friend. Hopefully you're watching along with some UFC Vegas 22 this evening. Been some pretty good fights. I know you're keeping up with all the wrestling action. I asked a little bit earlier one of our fans to tell us who we need to keep an eye out for in wrestling, so I'll ask you the same thing. Who has impressed you at NCAA in the wrestling? And don't say the Stanford kid. I get that. I know that one. No branding on the singlet. Very sad story. But also, kind of like jiu-jitsu in a way. When I saw that dude didn't have any branding on his singlet, all I could think of was, kind of looks like a jiu-jitsu guy. You know what I mean? Like, most jiu-jitsu guys don't really have sponsors, so I'm watching you. Oh, okay, I'll take that. I won't complain about that. Oh, no. All right, that's what it is. Brian Ortega just spoke out on Volkanovski and said, I know you would have took the fight no matter what, even with COVID. That's the type of human you are. I respect that. I hope you get better. I hope you heal up fast. Some things are out of our control. Big respect to you on taking the high road there, Senor Ortega. Whether or not you are doing Holly Berry, good for you either way. You're still kudos for that response. Because that one sucks losing. I really would have liked to have seen that fight, but it is what it is. Elliot, how's the training going, sir? You enjoying yourself? You getting in some good rounds? What is happening over on your side of the world? I see you're hitting your stretches in. I looked at that. I was like, yo, I better start stretching in my life. That's what I need to do. I see a note here that says, from Drain Daddy, let's go Max. So it clearly looks like we have a Max Griffin fan up in here. And of course, Max Griffin, his stats, 8 wins by knockout, 6 first round finishes, all 5 within 55 seconds or less. And he has the 4th highest takedown accuracy among active UFC fighters. And I believe that was in his division, but I didn't get to see that last part because it swiped away. All good. Glad to have you joining us on all of our channels, both on Verbal Tap, Simulcast, and the many of you who are watching over on our different Grappling Hour properties. My name is Rafa Esparza. I'm having a blast chatting with you guys. One quick way to get a shout out or a toast from us is to give us a like and a share. And if you give us a like and a share, we give you a toast just like we do those fighters who get finishes within regulations. And it says, what dojo do you train at, good sir? I'll tell you that. And it says, wow, impressive stats. Absolutely. What dojo do I train at? My home gym is Valley Martial Arts Center. And great gym. Love that place. But I also am known to visit certain places, like our good friend Sven, who owns Strength Mobility. I'd also highly recommend our good friend Elliot, who has the Agayo Training Performance Center that is also great. It's in Pacoima. And then, let me see. I'm trying to think of all the other places. We have so many different places and friends that we know. Also recommend our friends over at Black House. But I've been very fortunate with Valley Martial Arts Center. Good people, very nice. They treat me pretty good. And they let me go, like, train other places, which was kind of like a big selling point when I was starting to do the podcast, because I go, I'm kind of somebody who wants to train with the people I interview, because I feel like they'll give you a better interview if you go to them. Plus, it's just, I hate politics and all that sort of stuff. I go to train and I have very little time for that. What's up, Bobby? And it says, do I know Caro, as in Caro Parisian? I don't know him personally, but I've been around a number of different locations that are, or different areas where I guess we've been in the same vicinity. But no, we don't know each other personally. Fight is starting off very fast and furious, and you do see Song in the reddish trunks. Look more maroonish. And meanwhile, Griffin is coming in very fast in the black trunks. And look at this. Producer wife Kelly making sure that I get fed. I'm going to tell you guys this. Look at this. This is the meal I'm getting right now. This is delicious. Stout Burger. Shout out to them. Is that where this is from?
Does the puppy need to eat?
She does. And Stout Burger, one of the most delicious meals you'll get out here in Los Angeles. The burgers are mwah. So, in response to your question, Bobby, dude, this food, that's what's up. It's a pretty even night. We got great fights in front of us. And right now at work, Griffin pressing up Song against the cage. He is essentially trying to work for a takedown here. And Song is, I don't want to say overwhelmed at this point, but he has looked a little bit like, yo, dude, we don't go this fast at the very beginning. Griffin coming out like he's got somewhere to be tonight. Which is great, because given COVID, you don't have a ton of places to go, honestly. Meanwhile, pressing forward, same difference here. And you're seeing a nice kick there, and it does get not a real register, but a little bit of a nice little hobble by Song, who switches his stances. And Griffin, probably not too fazed by any of that, but still enough where he's just kind of looking around and seeing where he wants to chime in. First solid strike there. Nice jab by Song. And as he starts to lean for a kick, Griffin continues to charge ahead. I think Song's starting to learn the power of his jab in this fight right now. A nice little kick to the midsection. Now he's starting to find his rhythm, and it took him about a good minute and 30 seconds for him to kind of register what kind of fight he wants to have this evening. Understandably so. Oh, shit. And Griffin knocks out Song. Look at that. Yo, I am worried about Song. We'll take a look at how he is. And Griffin wants to just lie down on the job. Yeah, no, we get it. You slept him, bro. But I don't know when a dude looks like he's dead is the right time to fully celebrate like that. He gets rocked here. Now watch this connect. Ooh. Damn. I see a note here. It says Max with the bomb. Indeed. That was vicious, dude. I know that earlier in the night, we had people who were asking, specifically, we had somebody like a Grant Dawson who said, give me a fight bonus. I don't know, man. That was, look at that, dude. Song is still not up. That's a pretty powerful hit. Dana may have to go to an ATM tonight. All right. Good to know. And Adam, I think you're saying the same thing I thought, which was that last shot was to the back of the head. Yeah, I wasn't wild about that. But you know what the hard part is? Sometimes they get excited. They want to make sure that the fight's not going to continue. You just kind of have to charge forward and hope for the best. I don't super fault him for it, but I just know that lying down like he's just like posted up at a beach somewhere, kind of spreading out and being like, this was fun. I'm feeling like, oh, is he dead? That's fine. I'm going to get some sun right now. Anybody got a book? I'll read a book. That's fine. So yes, that was interesting to watch, to say the least. Either way, I'll ask you guys, do you think that should get the money, or do you think that Grant Dawson's knockout from earlier in the night should get the money? I also want to hear what he has to say, but you know it's a good time to remind you guys, he's going to get a toast because he got a finish, and you know our rule. We give toast to those who get finishes within regulation, and we also give toast to those who give us a like and a share on Facebook, a subscription on YouTube at Grappling Hour, or on their Instagram stories, take a photo of us doing this fight companion, share it, and tag us. That's it. It's a pretty easy system. I don't know how we can make it simpler, and we're not. Because really, too simple as is. Oof. And you know what, dude? When you win, you can do whatever you want. But trying to whip and Nene is maybe a stylistic choice I would not do at this time. Even if you were excited and you're very happy, more power to you. It looks really weird when they're raising your hands. It says this card has the highest number of finishes in a while, but it has no buzz on the socials. Could it be oversaturation for the UFC? Yes. Pretty simply, yes. And we've noticed that, like, even from our numbers, and we're not the UFC, but our numbers fluctuate, especially whenever there are cards like this, because people go, there's a fight card, and we go, right, I understand. All things considered, though, you get a fight finish like this, you have something you can plug on your UFC media, which then goes, and this will go viral tonight. Like this, Dawson's will probably go viral, but this, he slept the man real bad, dude, to the point where I was like, I was concerned. So is Khabib going to be there every night now? Now he's got nothing to do. Is he just going to hang out behind the plexiglass with Dana? But yeah, now they're starting to talk about what we were talking about a few minutes ago, which is everybody wants their 50K. So that's not a surprise. It's just you do good work, you probably want to get some money out of it. All right. I'm going to take a couple bites of this. So as we wait for him to talk on his post-fight interview, yeah, that back of the head one does look super bad, especially from that back angle. Ugh. Apparently new father who's still dancing. And he says he feels great. Could have fooled us. Only God can judge? Oh, okay. Oh, good news, everybody. What we say doesn't matter because only God can judge him. So we can go to town on this one. If he ever sees this clip, we're going to be like, yo, bro, what does it say on your chest? So he is a star. Ooh, okay. He is a Prince song. Come to life right now for us. Good for him. Woo! Well, here's the good news. He is a star, but definitely not on the microphone. What's up, Ray Ray? Good to see you. What's up, Andrew Gullah? It's a pleasure to have you guys joining us tonight. We're watching us some UFC Vegas 22. We have one fight left. We got to do a cheers, and then, you know, we got to watch this next fight, and it's the main event. So we're all stoked that you're here. So he's saying he's going to fight everybody. All right, I'm just going to do this cheers because it's too much there. He's still dancing, and he's doing a dance for money. Okay. Ben Folks does point out, Max Griffin watching his own knockout and making sound effects when the punches land. You trying to become one of my guys? Funny. What are we drinking? Asks Ray Ray. I'll go over that. Today's drink of choice is a Highland Park Brewery item. It is from them, and it is called Timbo Pills. and is a West Coast style Pilsner with Mosaic hops. It is quite nice. It's been treating me well. It is compliments our friends over at Hop Merchants. Of course, I know you like that place. You said yes, a good one. Thank you. They always make sure to treat us right over at that bar, and I always appreciate it. I gotta tell you though, you know what's nice is all these promos for like Godzilla versus Kong. Finally, a movie that HBO will show that has a coherent action plot. Zack Snyder trying with all these 900 plot holes, not interested. Give me Godzilla, give me Kong, let him beat up the city. We're good. Don't even care anymore. He tried that with Man of Steel. Does not look that interesting. That looks fun. I'll watch that. If you guys have questions about the Snyder Cut, I will answer them, by the way, because there's a lot to talk about on that. And it is, let's just say there's a lot to say about that. So now they're going to do a promotional clip talking about Holland. Promo for Modelo. Meanwhile, we answer your questions. Hit me with them while I eat this delicious burger. It's so good. Yes, you have a question?
Why is Ben Affleck Batman?
Oh. We're starting with the answers and questions portion for the Justice League.
Yeah.
Producer wife Kelly, who ingested maybe a quarter of, how much did you, maybe about 40?
No, I think I did like a solid 35 to 40%.
Okay, so producer wife Kelly wants to be very clear. She did about 35 to 40% of the Zack Snyder Justice League. Okay. Her question is, why is Ben Affleck Batman? Answers. Number one, he's got the dumb butt chin. So he can wear that. Number two, Batman is supposed to be super old in these movies and grizzled. And what better way to show that he's old and grizzled than somebody who has a very limited acting range set of somebody who can only make a pouty face. Number three, you kind of need a bankable person. And Ben Affleck, for all of his faults, has made money with his movies. And number four, you picked up on this one yesterday, though, babe, when you said, he just seems douchey enough. And honestly, that'll do it for you. You asked, are you snacking on some Dave's hot chicken? No, although I like that a lot. I'm actually eating a stout burger, which is top excellent work on the burger scale. But yes, you know what's really weird about the whole Zack Snyder thing, though, is that thing is 4 hours. And I know we've talked about the running time. Like, I just am amazed at how much work went in from it going to allegedly 3 hours and 34 minutes, which in itself is a long movie. And I get it, a director's cut. To him saying, you know what? I think I got 25 more minutes somewhere. Let's just throw that shit in there. It's a lot to live through. And you know what the worst part is? When all of us saw the Justice League, aka Joss Whedon's version of the Justice League, you got the impression that it wasn't a good movie, but you also could tell some of the shots that looked like they were directed by Snyder. And lo and behold, the ones you thought were directed by him were that remained, even though they did extensive reshoots. And there are whole clips of that movie that are exactly the same. I'll condense it down to this. Some good things. Darkseid wasn't completely fucked up. No backstory. No real interest other than bad guy bad. But okay, I thought they could have fucked him up. They didn't. The last scene with Wonder Woman, that was fun. She did a thing, and I don't want to ruin it for you in case you haven't seen it. Some of the graphics look way more completed. That's nice. My wife said that she liked Steppenwolf's suit at some point. So that was an improvement because the original one was not good. Let's talk about the bad. The script is atrocious. The lines are garbage. The plot holes are massive. And what I would say as an overall sort of thing on this is when you watch any kind of version of that movie and you say, I can't believe how much money we're spending to make a bad movie barely tolerable. It's crazy. It says, how do you feel about Bangin' Buns? Same deal as Dave's. I don't know that I've had it. I gotta think about that. It says Jeremy Irons would have made a better Batman. I like Ben Affleck and Kevin Smith movies and nothing else. Sure, I get that. I feel that. Also, making Jeremy Irons a very bitchy Alfred. Like, Zack Snyder's the only person to make Alfred suck. Alfred's always great. Michael Caine was great. The dude who was in the Keaton Batmans, he was great as Alfred. The Alfred in the 60s show, he was amazing. Jeremy Irons is like, how come you don't have kids? It was like the bitchiest, like, I know you wouldn't do that, Batman. Like, no. And I would like to point this out too. And I think this is a critical problem. Somehow, Snyder never got Superman right in 2.5 films. Like, how do you mess up Superman for 3 films? Ridiculous. So those are just some overall notes. And if you did like it, you're welcome to like it. You are more than welcome to like that terrible movie. I know you pushed really hard for it. There are terrible circumstances as why that movie took forever to come out and make happen. It'd be nice to see some other directors get some chances to fix their movies. Sure. But it bad. And it too long. 4 hours is too long, guys. Let's just all agree on that. And I would say this. Also, coming at a time when we just watched like WandaVision, which was maybe just as much of a running time, like that was 4 to 5 hours of my time that I go, that was great. Good acting, good scripts, different, takes you out of the world, good interpretation, characters kind of seem grounded. I like to live in that world. So, just saying. All right, throw your other questions at me. Since we're about to see some walkouts here in a second. Meanwhile, that'll give me a second to go ahead and take a bite here as we walk and watch. I believe this is, Kevin Holland making his walkout right now, who is in firm performance mode right now. So I can see why some of you don't like him. I am not one of them. I do enjoy his nonsensical tactics. And it looked like for a split second he was about to do the Carlton walk on out, but good for him. I mean, give him this. He's in a great mood. I don't blame him. About to fight. But yes, I should try and get Bangin' Buns, I think, at some point. So I'll look them up a little bit later, bro. I gotta tell you, having all salads for a week or so that aren't good at a show production, but you have to eat them anyway, make this burger all the more worth it. Good call tonight, producer wife Kelly. This note says, I'm a fan of Holland for sure. Dude is hilarious and cracks. That's what I'm saying. I think the kid's doing a good job at selling fights. Granted, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Marvin Castell, but, you know, it's like a weird alter ego for Marvin, I think. All right, gang. Tell me who you have on this one. Do you have Holland? Do you have Brunson? Talk in the chat. But I am excited for this fight. Yay, cartwheels. He's gone from cartwheels into a weird kind of a jig thing. Like, I would like to say his dancing is good. It is, at best, very average. And that's disappointing. I'd like to... you don't think average?
Let him live his best life,
Whatever. What is producer wife Kelly...
Who's gonna judge you is God.
Only God and Lucy can judge you. What is producer wife Kelly eating this evening? Same thing, but she had. Did you have the American cheeseburger? What'd you get?
Did the morning after.
The morning after. What is that?
It's fig jam, arugula.
Oh, the fig jam one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good too. So another burger. I'm two different. She's the one that supplies this, so she was en route back from work. So she goes, I'm going to get stout tonight. And I was stoked. Well, Brunson looks pretty focused. So it's a nice contrast at the very least to Holland. LA2LB says, Holland is unpredictable. Agree. Brunson coming in at the 7th spot on the rankings. This will be an interesting fight for Holland. So let me see here. Last several fights, though, on the win side. Man, the Jacare knockout really still fucks with me. That happened back in December. Charlie Olives, a TKO submission slam, which, by the way, was wild as well. Darren Stewart win. Joaquin Buckley win. Anthony Hernandez win. The last loss you have to look at is back with Brandon Allen. That is for one Kevin Holland, but his last year was nothing short of amazing. Meanwhile, Derek Brunson, his last fight, pretty impressive win over Edmund Shabazian, Ian Heinch, and Elias Therideau. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Puppy, what are you doing? You look like you're being a brat. Move. You can tell the dog is just... She can tell that we're having stout burger because she's like, if you guys want to drop something, I'd be okay with that. So anyway, that's what we got going on tonight. There we go. Sorry about that. Brunson is tough. I personally thought he should have won the decision against Anderson Silva. That said, I am picking Holland for the win. Okay. I'm fine with that. How about the rest of you guys? Last seconds to get in your predictions, and then we go straight into the fight. I also wonder if we can get one of these like stout burgers. We should really find out one of these days when we can brand out this show a little bit, just to be like, hey, stout burger, I'll eat this on air.
I believe they are a very small company.
I think they are a small company, right?
Yeah.
All right. We'll start worrying about that social deck a little bit later. It says, dude with the sunglasses in Brunson's camp looks like the son from the Best Cry Ever video. That's funny. Yeah, does he have his mask on in that photo? Or is that... No, it's not. It's just weirdly shadowed on him. All right, Bruce Buffer doing the introductions. I feel like a lot of you are going for Holland, though, so I'm good on this. So I'll remind you again, tomorrow, 3 p.m., Combat Jiu-Jitsu. Going to do one of these. It'll be very fun. We know a lot of those guys, too, so I'm very excited to see a number of them. Actually, one of the guys who's competing is in our Verbal Tap Whoop app group. And it's the sleeve, it's this that I wear when I'm training and whatnot. And I told him, I was like, are you going to wear it when you compete? Because I would really like to know what your athletic levels are. And he's like, actually, I'm not against that. So I don't think he will. But if he does, that would be dope to get that intel. Because when it monitors your heart, it tells you how many calories you're burning. Love this thing. And the big sell is that we could actually tell what you're doing during grappling. Because a lot of those fitness bands will tell you, like, this is how many stairs you're climbing. Or this is how many miles you're running. And I'm like, I do neither of those. So I don't care. Raph, do you know Ricky Lule from 10th Planet Oceanside? Do I know him? I've interviewed him. Of course I know him. Kid's a monster. He's one of our favorites, man. He's a good kid. Why do you ask? I'm going to assume you know him. Meanwhile, they do the second introduction here for Derek Brunson. I guess it would make sense, the wrestling with you. That makes sense, now that I think about it. It feels like this has been the longest part of the night. Everything else has gone by so quickly tonight. I'm kind of like, okay, let's make with the go here, people. What's up, Chris? Final introductions here. They're going to go ahead and get the rules. And then it looks like Herb is going to let him go to war. And they bump fists. What's up, Pinkus88? Here we go. Your main event, Kevin Holland, Derek Brunson, about to go. And I see a note here from Will Iness that says, Brunson gonna whoop. It did. Well, I think you guys are on the right track. I think we probably won't see a full fight, possibly. The question is which one of you is right. So we'll see. Patience. Ooh. Oh! You might not be wrong here. The note here, it says his wrestling base will prevail. I mean, already a slip. It's going to make us pay attention a little bit to how that smothering and that intense pressure may play out. You are seeing right now Holland start to close a guard with that triangle body lock close guard. Interesting. You said you went to elementary school with him in California, and childhood friend. Dude, he's great. So I know you're good people. Ricky is, dude, he's a monster. He's such a good competitor. Just a nice kid. Every time I see him, we always just kind of like shoot the shit for a little bit. That's an awesome thing to hear. But yes, I happen to know a number of 10th Planet people pretty well. But that's wild. It's always so funny to find out who trains that you like grew up with. But acting from inside of the guard, Brunson is going to work. And Holland is trying to create some kind of sweeping motion. Opts to close the guard back, but then opens it shortly thereafter. This is not a great place to be for Holland. Eek. I know earlier, Will Iness is talking about his wrestling will prevail, but right now, dude, it's all about just pressure. Oh, no. That's the only way Brunson can win. Holland slipping on a banana peel. Well, you know, it's early still. Let's give the man a few seconds to see how this is going to play out. And still Brunson working from inside the guard. At one point, oh God, is he smothering with the hands? Oof. One of the worst things is when people do that smother. Oh, he just clapped him right there. Good for him. Yep, I think slapping is an interesting choice to do. It says exactly, Brunson has more tools in there. I mean, if he's able to pass this guard, this might be a way bigger issue. But you are seeing that Holland is keeping him into that guard for a long period of time. All things considered, we're about a minute 30 into that guard. Some people just have really solid full guards that it can be very annoying, especially in an MMA context. But in jiu-jitsu context, it's very rare that you see somebody with like a really solid guard game. I mean, he's definitely taking his shots from inside, dude. I got to give him that. Ground control time is 3:03 for him. Sure. And Holland does not want to continue to be here, so I think Holland's just waiting it out. He's like, dude, do I have to stay here for a minute? If I could offset most of these shots to my face, I think I'll be in a much better position. I'm surprised maybe they haven't stood back up. There's been a little bit of inaction. But Herb just kind of let them do their thing. Ooh, nice shot from inside the guard, though. It says Holland is talking. Yeah, he is. 30 seconds left here. Oh, he was saying during the introductions why he's so mad. I will repeat what the lady said in one of their fights to producer wife Kelly in a second, because I think she will enjoy this clip. But earlier in the evening, one of the fights ended with two females who were still continuing to kind of fight. Oh, a rejection on a hand exchange there by Brunson. But producer wife Kelly might be interested to know that at the end of one of the female fights, the females were still continuing to fight essentially after the buzzer. And one of the females said to the other, "I will follow you home, bitch." And that went over huge with producer wife Kelly. And it says here, is this cost check daily again? Don't put that on us. I hope not. I don't want to see all 5 rounds of that kind of fight again. Well, what does Khabib even do? Is he talking to Khabib at this point? Oh, he's asking Khabib for advice. That's funny. I don't hate that. Especially if you need somebody with better wrestling. I guess that's not a terrible idea. If your corner has nothing for you, but like, Khabib, you got something? Only in the time of COVID can you do that. Yeah, Holland just moved to a plus 150. That makes sense. Obviously, everybody coming here for Brunson and saying he won that first round. Oh, God. Even talking to him right now and saying, tell me where the shots are coming. I mean, even if he got knocked out, I wouldn't fault him for any part of this. What's up, Mitch? Good to see you. Nice knee there by Brunson. And he's even just saying nonsense to him as they're in a clinch. Oh! It says Brunson still isn't favored. No, he was saying plus 150. So that means that he was being put as the live in-round underdog at this point. Oh, shit. Oh! Well, here's your wrestling that you're talking about right now, but he's eating some shots with it. He might be able to lift him up, but look at this. Ugh. This just turned into a very interesting fight. I don't think we're getting the cost check daily fight that you were talking about just a second there, LA2LB. Does take him down. That's a really important takedown, especially when he was getting rocked there a little bit. Woo! You need to close that guard again immediately, dude. Eek! So, with Brunson getting a mount right now, I think he was starting to telegraph maybe a little bit of an arm triangle situation, but he'll probably start trying to pepper him with some shots here. Does take a couple, gives up the back. Grambies uses that as actually a pretty decent sweep, all things considered. But, bro, the mood of the night is don't let people hit you when you're trying to heel hook them. That's a bad, bad idea. It says Brunson domination. I don't know, man. I mean, he's looking great right now. But domination doesn't necessarily happen when you're getting rocked a little bit on your feet. He has a great position here, and I thought that was a great exchange by both of those gents. And I did mention the head and arm triangle, and if you're looking at it right now, you are seeing Brunson slowly start to put the pressure in. If he can get that leg untrapped and move over to the side, we have something in play here. And now you're hearing Felder say exactly what I'm saying, but that's fine. You're just talking about a Von Flute. That is not a Von Flute here, but thank you for trying. I would tell you, he is very, very well setting this up. And you need Holland to start turning into him if he's going to have any kind of escape here. Those last-minute escapes are very difficult to do in these situations. And Holland really is going to start losing a lot of air because this is one of those ones that you just cook on somebody. You say over here, Drain Daddy, this is bad for Holland. It absolutely is. And Brunson, I mean, the only thing that he needs, I would suggest maybe, is to get that head all the way down on the mat. I know it is sometimes harder, but he does make the escape. And you do see Brunson chasing him down, and Kevin quickly moves out of the range. It says Holland only thrives in scrambles. Doesn't give me confidence in betting on him in the future. I'm fine with that. That's fine. I don't think you're wrong in saying that. But I mean, Brunson is obviously winning, and especially on the all-around game, he is definitely outclassing Holland, at least on the takedowns. But already, just looking at some of those scrambles, though, or those chaotic moments between those two gents, it's hard to say that you don't feel some concern for Holland's hands. But yeah, takedowns 2 for 5. It's pretty solid there for Brunson all the way through. 30 seconds left to go in round number 2. I mean, business picked up. If you were not in love with that first round, at the very least, you got a lot more action and bang for your buck. There is a lot more that we don't know still could happen in this fight. But yes, round 2, ground strikes. Negligible difference between the two. Woo! What is up, everybody? Glad you guys are joining us. We are watching some UFC Vegas 22, and we're just in the middle of the main event. I hope that he's going to say, Khabib, did I do better that round? And it says, how the fuck did Holland KO Jacare? Terribly. I mean, that one hurt, and I like Jacare. I don't dislike Holland at all. What is up, Morning Wood 31? Glad to see you back, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Business picked up. I'm very pleased with this fight now. Round 1 was a little boring, but okay. I'll take a round 1 to get you a round 2 where everything turns a little batshit. I think they're talking about the tightness of the head and arm choke, and it says the same way he almost KO'd Brunson. Almost, yeah, absolutely. And then they're going to do this takedown, which is really solid. I don't think so. I think that should be a 2-0 for Brunson at this point, so I don't know what they're trying to build up. It says, I like fighters, not talkers. Okay. Then you must like really boring build-ups. I mean, Holland has had a really good streak of 5 wins over some solid work here. I think he's done an excellent job. I don't really care if you talk. If you talk and you talk well and you fight well, I have no issue. I think the hard part is Brunson is pretty well adept at knowing what he might try to do here. So I do agree it's a tall task for him to do it. Nice takedown here by one Brunson. Holland trying to use this leg as a pendulum. It says priorities, people. Okay. Let's not make this into a major thing that you're trying to morally argue with people here. That's really just silly. What's up, Chino 56 or 576? My apologies. Hope you're doing well. Of course, Holland going to pull into a guard again. We might be here for a few moments. We'll see what happens. I like the yo. Way to announce yourself. I see a note here that says Mazzagatti said no talking. Boo. I think they are still talking, though. It says this fight's still going. LMAO. Yes. Oh, no. Sven, I can't put you in, bro. Sven, we're simulcasting on multiple channels, so unfortunately I can't bring you in on just one. But I will bring you in on another one. You know that. I mean, of all the full guards to have, I get it. It says Brunson fighting, not talking. Okay. I love how angry this makes you. Did you say this when Khabib was talking in the middle of fights? Because that's what he did. Basically, we get it, Will. There are lots of people who talk. Most of the time you can't hear it, but right now we hear every part of it. Because there is no crowd. Once that happens, you're going to be surprised how little we actually hear people doing it. What's up, Melody Faith Meyer? It says Brunson fighting. LOL. Brunson laying on top. That's true. It says, why don't we say back takes from guard more often? Hard to do. Also, you lose traction with people sometimes. It gets slippery. It's hard to hold on and always make sure that you'll get that transition. And it says, Khabib was mad at Conor for talking before the fight. Right, but Khabib always talks to his opponents. That's not the only person that Khabib talked to. So it shows how little you actually know about that. You can ask many of Khabib's fans and friends and people he's fought. He talks in the cage. And I see here it says, Holland tired from all the groundwork? Maybe. Talking during is fine. Oh, good lord. These are dumb, arbitrary rules at this point. Chino, you know you can't speak in Spanish here. You're going to make all the people afraid. But yes, back take from guard. It's tricky to do, and a lot of times they'll position, they'll start posturing their way out, they'll frame, and they'll get out. So it's not always going to be the right way of doing it. But yeah, I mean, Brunson kind of is throwing some strikes from inside the guard, but I think he's just as tired on the lay and pray. I like, sorry. No, I'm not really mad at you, dude. You're good. Don't get mad, guys. Fighting pays, talking pays. Khabib literally told his opponents to quit while he was smashing. Very funny. Absolutely true. I mean, I do appreciate the fact that Bisping is sitting here being like, do you want to be funny or do you want to be the guy who wins the fights? And it's like, dude, I think I know Kevin is at least branding himself to make him somebody who's going to try and get more traction, even if this fight is garbage. It says, yeah, the Michael Johnson fight. Absolutely. It says, Holland just needs to slap Brunson like Ryan did Galvo. Yeah, I don't think that's going to go over the same way, bro. Anyway, LA2LB. Hope that answers some questions there. But yeah, I feel like if people are really good at sliding that knee up from mount, as they start to make somebody turn to the side, they have a lot more success in getting that back take. But I think most of the times in MMA, when you get somebody on the top in the mount position, they'll go more for the strikes. And if they give them their back, then they'll tend to do it. But if people give up their backs, they tend to just stay on punching them and hope that they can get some kind of stoppage from there. Them's just my notes. Or guesses. But I would assume some of them are there. And it says, is Galvo just going to accept that slap or fight Ryan? He's definitely not going to fight him in terms of a retaliation fight. They might have a match at ADCC, but he forgave Galvo. Galvo forgave Gordon for doing what he did, even though he pressed him. It's a very confusing situation. Slap's been accepted, sir. it's really, you mentioned CJJ. They're not going to give money to that. They want to keep that on Flow Grappling. And I don't foresee them doing that as a match. I think they're going to save it for ADCC because that's the one that they know actually gets eyeballs. So, but it's really silly because then you'd have to pay to see that. And I don't want to see that. At that point, I think we're good. If Galvo doesn't want to do it, I'm perfectly fine. I don't even care. But I feel like if you're Galvo, you have to take the match. It says, how is this only in the third? I left work at 9. I don't know, dude. Oh, no. Look at this. Holland, Brunson exchanging, and Brunson's looking for a takedown here, trying to swing his way back, and Holland is now pressing him with a little bit more of these strikes. And yes, a mistimed uppercut may have been unfortunate for one Holland. Holland needs to detach himself from Brunson, and it's very possible he could get a knockout here. The problem is Brunson's coming in with a few strikes of his own that are problematic, and now coming in for the secure takedown. He is getting in on it, and it's dicey. He might be able to stall it out, and Holland tried to use a little bit of a Kimura trap to swing him on over, but that Kimura sweep was not going to work there. I don't know what to tell you, man. This fight's just been going on. They've been stalling for a long time. Now, that's an interesting strategy. I liked him trying to, like, put some pressure on the arms while he's trying to pass him, and it says Brunson MMA, Holland TMZ. Jesus Christ, kid. You literally don't know how to stop when you were behind. 3:10 left to go in round number 4. Well, look, this is not the most exciting part of the fight, but you kind of get this is the way he's going to win. And they are mentioning that Brunson has notched his personal best on takedowns. I mean, yeah, dude, he needs to get all these takedowns so he doesn't take any damage when he's standing up with them. This is a way safer version of trying to win this fight. I also find it weird to have Bisping conversating about trying to be funny when I almost felt like, are you talking about your commentary too? Like, I don't understand. It says, I thought Holland was supposed to smish this guy. Not necessarily. I think it's a good matchup for their 2 on this. I think that on paper it's kind of wild and weird, but as you're obviously seeing here, Brunson is really proving very difficult for him to work around this wrestling. At the same point, I mean, the exciting parts have really been Holland really knocking him back a few of the times. And I'm not to say that Brunson doesn't have knockout power in his own right, but just those moments when it's chaotic between the two of them just swinging, it's a compelling thing, man. It's fun to watch. And it says Holland came in with barely 50% takedown defense. No surprise. Absolutely. And who are you looking up stats, weirdo? It says Dana should have played Brunson backstage to not go to the ground. I think you meant paid. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, listen, dude, if Brunson ends up winning like this, it's not always going to be the most exciting thing in the world, but it's the right strategy for Holland. Woo! You need to get up better than that, dude. That dude is going to be on top of you real quick, and you need to find your way over the cage. Do not let him take you down again, turning into him. But yeah, dude, I think Holland is muy tired. It says Holland got lucky against Jacare. Jesus. That's very funny. I agree with that. I just like when we have like the one person who's in the Derek Brunson fan club showing up and being like, he's really good, you guys. You don't even know. I'm like, are you a family member? It says at Strength and Mobility, what's the plan here, coach? What's he doing wrong? If you ask Sven, I think that Sven would say at a certain point, for Holland, the real minor here is the wrestling, dude. Let's just be clear about it. I think we all can see that. We all know it's there. And the hard part is like good wrestlers will find their way to get the takedowns even when you're setting up a really solid strike. I think he understands, like, no, he's going to have his foot planted here, or he's going to switch here. And finding your single legs and your shoots or your blast doubles are pretty easy to go in if you're really just a solid wrestler. And he is. It says Holland doesn't pummel at all. He just slaps. Yes, he does. That is correct. So his team is basically telling him you need to dig deep, which not my favorite strategy in the world. And now they're telling him he is going to time out your strikes, which, yes, correct. Holland needs to put practice. That's not even a full sentence. What does put practice mean? So I like Akamoto agreeing with apparently Bisping. Yeah, he's saying he's fighting the right fight. Kevin Holland, this is his potential breakout fight tonight, and his performance is coming up short through 4 rounds. Let's see what happens in the 5th. Just practice, my bad. Yeah, I know. I'm glad you recognize one of them, though. Holland coming in for at least 1 strike here. Looking to go high. And now, I mean, I like the jab here. I like where he's going on that. That's good. Oh, snuck in a nice little hook there. And again, Brunson can connect on these shots, man. What's up, Coach 3000? Yeah, and I think the hard part is watching Holland switch to using the jab to find the range and then looking to see if he's got an open shot. He does find 1 jab there. Now, again, it's where you get really tied up. You got to disengage very quickly because you're not going to win this takedown competition. In the clinch, you've got to be very careful about how he's going to go ahead and shift you on over to the cage. And watch Brunson, man. Brunson, if he can get another underhook here, this might be all you can write about. Good knee. Good knee. You get 3:26 left in this fight. And it says, Holland in the clinch is how I was 5 years ago. I don't know who that sentence is for. But look at that. He gets a takedown. It says Holland with the inside trip. Respect. How about that? I mean, listen, dude. It's the right time to get one in. I mean, dude, Bisping is out here trying to tell him how to live his life when I think we all kind of see what's going to happen here. We see the writing on the wall. It says that trip, though, was nice. It was. Good for him, man. He got hyped. He does. He has 2 minutes to work, though, and it's going to be dicey to make up for all those rounds, especially when you see Brunson just kind of hugging him here. And it says he criticized Brunson for the same. I mean, essentially, yeah, absolutely. What's up, Jits Mom? Too little, too late. When you say too little, you're spelling it in the Lil Kim form, like one of the rappers. But okay. Yeah, I mean, 2 minutes is still a lot of time to work, dude. And it says Holland going 5 rounds is like JYD going an hour Broadway. Okay. Minute 50 left here. And Holland just kind of putting in. Oh, God. It looked like Holland was about to stab the eyes there. Don't need that. Eek. Yeah. Holland, if I'm you, I'm trying to just break this guard. Oh, that'll work. Okay. Yep. Brunson is essentially working on another takedown here that would essentially score him the fight. And it says, unfortunately, a sub or a knockout needs to work here. Absolutely. And it says, whoever trains at 10p, I want them to win. Well, of course you do, you goon. Well, that's the fight, everybody. I hate to ruin it for y'all, but Unless we get back on the feet, this is an unfortunately anticlimactic way for us to see an end for this fight. Yeah, Brunson's just A-okay. He's like, dude, I don't mind this. I'll keep him here. This is good for me. I'll tell you this, though. I have to give Holland some credit because he does try to do that weird-ass pendulum shit that you're supposed to do in that position that helps you get arm bars and stuff like that. It says, he'll say Khabib didn't give him the right advice. That's a funny line. I'm fine with that. What's up, Cash? And Bisping is talking about momentum that he had has been lost here tonight. It says, why is he still talking? Ugh. It says, damn, the Trailblazer Trail has been stopped momentarily. It says, we can all agree that Kevin won the verbal fight tonight. Yes, that is true. Holland, 5-0 rounds on that. It's going to be what? 50-42 on the trash talk? So that counts for one round, right? That's how we now do scores. I mean, listen, it's not a great fight for Holland. He's not going to win, obviously. I still don't dislike the guy. And I get where Bisping is coming from. I understand he's trying to teach the youth how to focus and win within those rounds. But also, guess what? You're probably going to still want to watch the next one. Even if the hype train isn't there, MMA fans are dumb. You listen, dude, you said I prefer hands. You need to come up with new lines because clearly I would rather have Kevin trash talk than have you spout really bad lines continuously. Anders, what's up, dude? It says that's okay. If he improves the takedown defense, he'll be fine. That's a hard thing to kind of learn on the fly, by the way, though. I think he needs somebody to significantly reroute his wrestling game and give him work on that. And it says, Holland tried winning by chatting his ear off, Brunson. Sure. I mean, clearly you guys have won every round that you've ever been in jiu-jitsu, so you understand this. I understand this thing. This is not a bad tactic. It's just he didn't have a weapon tonight. It just didn't work. It says, when Holland was landing it, it was definitely scary for Brunson. Absolutely, man. Come on, don't defend the talkers. The talkers are what get you interested. The talkers are the people who actually sell the fights. They actually get more people to watch these things. Here's what you need to do. You need to acknowledge what the talkers do and what the fighters do. If they're not your jam, that's fine. But I like fighters just as much as I do talkers. And sometimes, very rarely, you get somebody who does both. And it says ultimate face chatting. Very nice. I don't lose rounds, my guy. All right, I'll talk to a few people. I'm pretty sure I can find out differently very quickly. My Rolodex is quite good, Chino. I think you know that. It'll only take me, let's see, who should I chat from 10th Planet? Oh, yeah. It could be very quickly. It says, Will, please come back. You're definitely entertaining. Well, Brunson will have some interesting things to, I think, address when he gets there. I'm opinionated. No, not you. It says he needs a Greco like John Jones or Sprawl. Sure. I identify with Kevin's shit talk while in a bad grappling spot so much. We all do. We all should. It's a legitimate thing. It works until it doesn't. Tonight it doesn't work. But look at that. Significant strikes, 51-50. Takedowns, obviously lopsided. And then the submission attempt is 1-0. I barely even remember that submission attempt. But let's see what Felder has to say with one, Derek Brunson. Thank you to Jesus. Okay. Yeah, okay. We don't need to do all that, but do you, bro? So we're talking about the domination on the grappling. And he's saying everyone can't be pretty in terms of fights. And he said he wasn't too excited about this fight matchup. He wanted a top fiver. Oh, good Lord. It says, what's next for Brunson? Well, he's trying to get him some Paulo Costa right now. I like that they're like, there was a lot of talking on the mat. And he said, I really couldn't even pick up too much because I was busy trying to punch him, dude. And Felder's asking, did you get hurt? And Felder's saying, you know, hey, tell us about that. Were you hurt? And he's like, nah, I wasn't that hurt. And the question is, can Costa land one big shot on him? Absolutely, he could. But Costa might have very similar issues, at least on the takedown scale. So that's a good question. And Felder's giving him props, saying that was another great performance from you. And I can't wait to see you back in the octagon. I don't know about that, because after tonight, that wasn't like a super exciting one. But good for you, dude. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to close up shop. What's up, Isaiah? We're going to close up shop. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with us tonight. It has been a blast. Some few shopping and item notes that you should go ahead and put into your memory. If you can give us some likes on @Grappling Hour and @VerbalTapCast on all of our properties. We're talking Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all of those. And 5-star reviews over on our Apple podcast page. It would mean the world to us at both Grappling Hour and Verbal Tap. Super would appreciate it. Totally is very nice if you could do it. That is great. We'll have another one of these actually tomorrow. And then we'll be back next week for UFC 260. We'll have another fight companion that way. And then we probably will have an interview this week. I don't know the exact time. We're working on all those details. But you'll want to catch the next episode of... What is it? Yes, Verbal Tap. We're going to have a guest to do over under Kevin. That'll be a good one. And it says, love it. Thank you, bro. Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all. Go give us some love. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 3 p.m. back here to watch Combat Jiu-Jitsu. That's what you're asking. You're saying, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Combat Jiu-Jitsu, and we'll have a good time. So we'll be on @Grappling Hour on that one. And much appreciation and love to all y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Rafa Sparza. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats. Eventually.